I'm sorry if you're offended by the title of the video, my profile picture, the choices of the stock videos I used, and everything that you deem is wrong about this whole channel. I am very regretful, and I will try to become a better person in the future. This will never ever happen again, I promise. And please subscribe if you haven't.
I owe everybody an explanation.
Sick and tired of hearing about the subject.
It offends them now. I don't deserve a platform.
You do not deserve to be defended.
I have no idea how I'm gonna record this video, dude.
If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you.
We've set up an email if you want more clarification.
Something that I said in the heat of the moment.
Sorry, there's no excuse.
Ah yes, the classic format of a typical YouTube apology video. Is a trend so common these days, it basically spawned a new YouTube video genre, and there's a name given to it, Vlogpology, which means when a famous YouTuber becomes embroiled in a controversy, makes headlines, and releases an apology video. This new term is coined by The Pudding in 2020, where they investigate the effectiveness of an apology video. I'll be using the word interchangeably with the word apology videos throughout this video. That's a lot of videos. Can we agree that these people have the balls to record themselves in front of the camera saying the 5-letter word sorry and then upload them online? That's a hard word to say, and not many famous people want to show their face and admit they are in the wrong. Most would just post a written apology to apologize as a basic damage control, and anybody could have written it since the person themselves doesn't say it from their own mouth as if they don't want to acknowledge it. Hi, my name is Gabe. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I make video essays and commentaries on the culture and trends around the internet. You can support me by subscribing and hitting that like button. Your support will help this channel grow. In this video, I'll be discussing why vlogpologies are better than written apology. It's just better. Not necessarily good, but it is better if you know what I'm saying. So initially this video was supposed to be discussing solely on apology videos and their effectiveness, but then I realized there are more written apologies than apology videos out there. I got inspired to change the topic of this video after watching D'Angelo Wallace's Influencer 19 video, where he called out influencers for ignoring the current situation and harming the lives of many, because guess what? They apologized for something unforgivable. So thank you, D'Angelo, for the inspiration.
All facts, no cap on God, he don't miss for it.
Oh, and if any famous people is watching this, I hope you'll find this video useful for your future. Good luck! Disclaimer, this video is mostly based on my observation and opinions on apology videos. Some ideas and discussion in this video may not represent facts. Being a huge public figure, especially on the internet, means you are exposed to millions of strangers watching every single digital move you make. And with the rise of cancel culture in the past decade, there is no room for mistakes. So if you're a famous person and you've done something subjectively offending in the past, you will be cancelled eventually. But don't worry, if you apologized, everything will be back to normal and all peace is restored once again, like nothing happened. Most people who are popular on the internet are called influencers, a person who inspires or guides the actions of others, and a person who is able to generate interest in something. From this definition, we can conclude that anyone who is famous online with a huge following and has done some brand deals before can be considered as an influencer, which includes content creators on YouTube. I'll also talk a little bit about a few celebrities here, but they're not considered as influencers. I'm sure you know at least a few online dramas before. Now, I want you to think of any public apologies by influencers that you know of, or any that you can remember. I'm gonna give you a few seconds for you to write them in a comment below. Done? Cool. Let me guess, are most of the apologies you remember in a video format? If I'm right, please leave a like or dislike, I don't really mind, but I'm sure most of you can only remember apologies that are recorded on a video. Before we look into why vlogpologies are better than written apologies, we should look into what makes an apology video an apology video. These two are what I think the main components of a typical apology video, and I will explain each of them briefly later. Note that these do not represent all apology videos out there or necessarily what counts as a good apology. These are from what I observed from notorious vlogpologies that define the genre. I am by no means an expert in image repair techniques, as this is only from the perspective of one single casual audience. The first one, relatability, is important to show that they are humans just like you. An apology video will usually start with a sigh and then followed by a statement that aims to sympathize with the viewers.
Some of our personal lives have been very insane.
Crying is a bonus if you can actually cry.
Promised my dad I wasn't gonna cry.
This also includes a softer tone when speaking because of course you wouldn't want to scold your audience.
Please contact me if you're having an issue, reach out, like I want to fix it for you.
Secondly, an apology video has to look candid, as in looking bare, very minimal, and not extravagant like they always do. For example, they would not want to look like they're filming a beauty vlog.
Breonna Taylor still has no justice.
And they will be dressed in simple clothing, often opting for a sweatshirt or a hoodie. Also, the fewer cuts, the better. An apology video usually has minimal editing and only use cuts to shorten the video. But influencers who know what they are apologizing for usually don't cut their video at all. Matilda's sense of fine, medium, and broad.com suggests the format of a typical apology is as followed. Celebrity publicists have a list of keywords when it comes to writing apology speeches. Heartbreaking is a favorite, along with disgusting. First, suggest that you've been wounded by your own actions. Second, talk about the deed as though it was committed by a disobedient imaginary friend or a badly trained dog. Third, suggest that fame is a burden. You might be great at dancing on stage in a ragtime bikini, but being famous has never been your strong suit. You're still learning the ropes of mass exposure. Oh, and also here's a bonus. This sums up what an apology video looks like that I got from Reddit. Yeah. The pudding has made a visual essay to clearly illustrate how the effectiveness of an apology video can affect a channel's growth. And I suggest you to go to their website after watching this video because it's really interesting and also visually appealing and easy to understand. The link is in the description below and the pinned comment. If you want me to explore the report on apology videos, please leave a comment below so I know if you'd like to watch my thoughts on the report. When I say apology videos are better, does not necessarily mean that these people are forgivable. I'm just saying that being on camera, talking to your audience instead of texting on your phone is so much better because it shows that they really are acknowledging their mistakes, whether they like it or not. Posting a written apology and hiding behind a screen just feels safer, if you know what I mean. There's something about written apologies that just feel fake because you don't hear their voice and see their face. Controversial opinion, but basically they are a coward by posting a Notes app apology. Take a look at this apology written on Instagram story. This was written by Rita Ora, who shamelessly broke the rule in the middle of a world crisis. It is perfectly organized in a neutral tone. Now, let's take a look at this Notes app apology. It is posted on Instagram by Justin Timberlake, who is currently under scrutiny after the release of a new Britney Spears documentary on Hulu called Framing Britney Spears, where the hashtag Free Britney movement called out JT for taking advantage of her in the past. He's also called out for being unaffected by the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show controversy, while Janet Jackson's career was going downhill unfairly. It's fairly short, and I wouldn't say it's impactful because of how much damage he made in his career, and it is only the bare minimum. Why do I bring this up? They apologize, so what now? Well, you might think they are truly regretful by their actions, but you can't feel their words, because when you read something, you are reading with your own voice, or what you think their voice sounds like. There's a corporate feel to it. You know, the apology usually published by big corporations when they're in trouble level, we humans are social beings and we need physical interaction to feel that sincerity. When someone apologizes, we need to hear those words from their mouth. So when you can see the person apologizing and hear those words with their own voice, you would definitely know what they are feeling about their controversy and how they were wrong. And it is an advantage to actually see them apologizing because you would also know whether they are truly sorry or not just by looking at their body language. Carly Lewis Dunton of stylist.co.uk perfectly sums this up. Verbal apologies can prove extremely effective if executed well, but they require the right balance of humility, honesty, and a level of vulnerability in order for them to be seen as sincere, which could be why verbal apology, are most people's go-to choice. By no means does this mean that all written statements are disingenuous. It's just easier to get away with a copied and pasted apology if they are. If you agree with the statement, please comment your thoughts below. Personally, I believe videos are so much better because we get to see that being on a screen instead of a bunch of letters perfectly organized, as if someone was hired to write it. Sure, a Vlogpology can be scripted too because, you know, they need to make sure the message is loud and clear, but at least you see their presence, and that presence is important to ensure that they want to acknowledge their mistakes. I think arguably one of the best examples of fixing an apology is by Logan Paul. Not saying what he did was forgivable, but he definitely changed for the better these days. Before he posted the infamous "So Sorry" video, he posted a Notes app apology on Twitter, and unsurprisingly, people weren't having it. The way it was written is obviously rushed, egoistic, and disingenuous. The peace emoji at the end didn't help the matter either. Compare that to the apology video he posted, it is 100 times better. Even though the video is short and most likely scripted, at least you finally see him addressing the controversy himself instead of hiding behind the Notes app like most influencers would opt for. It has the main components of an apology video, but the person delivering the apology is what makes it feel sincere. Even if someone apologizes on camera with the two components I mentioned before, the main factor for a good apology is the person themselves. Body language, tone, the language, and also thoughtfully addressing the controversy itself while clearly showing that they are truly taking accountability can help the public believe in one's apology. Besides, having absolutely no cuts in the video helped to increase the believability and the candidness of the apology. Of course, there are more good apologies out there, but since I want to keep this video as short as possible, unfortunately, I have to skip some of them. If you'd like to watch me discussing the other good apology videos on YouTube, please let me know in the comments section below. Even though this is only one example of a good apology, as we all know, this YouTube genre has gained notoriety because of the abundance of cheap controversies around this platform. Not all apology videos were created equally, but the bad ones are definitely a standout. Bad acting, fake crying, soulless delivery, low-key bragging, and so many things that are wrong that these videos define the current Vlogpology genre. I think apology videos got their bad rap when Laura Lee made arguably the worst Vlogpology in YouTube history. The fake crying, the incoherent speech, and basically unprepared to address the actual issue in the name of clickbait.
Breaks my heart into a million pieces.
She later apologized for her own Vlogpology, which is pretty hilarious when you think about it.
In that video, I come off more as a victim.
Then James Charles' Toddy video became the most notorious Vlogpology that spawned so many parodies for its absurdity and being a total mess.
That you're the most important person in my life.
I have yet to see any apology videos that are this unprepared. The sigh, which is present in most apology videos, is often associated with bad Vlogpologies because it is the easiest way to gain sympathy from viewers. But since it is obviously intentional, the relatability lost its value. Even worse, some would enable monetization on their video to profit off the clicks they get because who doesn't want to watch juicy dramas and gain profit from it, right? Tati did it, Laura Lee too, and some other influencers out there who prioritize money over their own wrongdoing. I won't be explaining further on the bad Vlogpologies because PewDiePie has outlined why they are bad. You can check the video in the description box below.
If you guys need any help with your apology videos, always reach out to me. I'm here to help.
Like I mentioned, a public apology is meant to fix the public perception of an influencer after a controversy, and some influencers are aware of this and did the bare minimum of addressing their problems. That's it, and life returns to normal until the next scandal happens. Then the cycle continues when another drama broke out. However, it really depends on whether or not these influencers actually learn from their action. Merely saying that they are accountable is a basic PR move, and it is so much easier said than actually feeling remorseful about it. We see this time and time again on YouTube, and it becomes a trend that drives more profit to them. These people are benefiting from clickbaits for their own gain, and that is how sad these rich people are. So I found this comment under Justin Timberlake's apology, and I completely agree with what they said. I find apologies more genuine when they are the result of self-reflection, not pressure as a result of negative feedback. This is true for almost all influencers that have a controversy, which explains why their apologies, be it written or video, are more often than not half-assed. I also came across a channel called Smoky Glow in which they perfectly explained why this is the case for influencers on this platform.
It's like this endless cycle of just stuff happening and people having to apologize.
Some influencers feel obligated to apologize not because they are actually sorry, but they needed to protect their brand and image because that is how they will generate money again. What the internet wants is for them to clearly clarify and address the situation carefully, but more often than not, controversial content creators would ignore this for the sake of drama and gaining viewers. Taking actual accountability is very rare because that's how YouTube works. However, I do appreciate the fact that these influencers address their controversies on camera instead of going the easy route by writing an apology statement and then hide for a week. In my opinion, apology video changed how we see influencers in some cases. Since most influencers have a distinct internet persona, we get to see them without the glitz and glamour and their loud persona. We also get to see who is genuinely remorseful and who is doing it for the money. At the end of the day, we're all just humans. It's just so easy to apologize and never get significant repercussions when they are almost untouchable because of the privilege they have. And that's the beauty of apology videos. If you reached the end, thank you so much for watching. This is probably the longest video I've made so far, and I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and like this video. If you want to see more of this content, please turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. Your support will help this channel grow. I'll see you beautiful people in the next video.